Kano is a city in Nigeria and the capital of Kano State in northern Nigeria, in the Sahelian geographic region south of the Sahara. Kano is the commercial nerve center of northern Nigeria and is the second largest city in Nigeria after Lagos. According to the 2006 census, Kano is the most populous state in Nigeria, with about 9,383,682 million people. The Kano urban area covers 137 square kilometers and comprises 6 local government areas: Kano Municipal, Fagdala, G-Wale, Tariani and Nasarawa, with a population of 2,163,225 at the 2006 Nigerian census. The metropolitan area covers 499 square kilometers and comprises 8 LGAs, the 6 mentioned above plus Ungogo and Kumbutsa, with a population of 2,828,861 at the 2006 Nigerian census. The principal inhabitants of the city are the Hausa people. As in most parts of northern Nigeria, the Hausa language is widely spoken in Kano. The city is the capital of the Kano Emirate. The current emir, Sanusi Lamido Sanusi, was enthroned on 8 June 2014 after the death of Alhaji Adu Bayero, the 30th emir of Kano Emirate, on Friday 6 June 2014. The city's Malam Aminu Kano International Airport, the main airport serving northern Nigeria, was named after politician Aminu Kano. History. In the 7th century, Dala Hill, a residual hill in Kano, was the site of a hunting and gathering community that engaged in ironwork. It is unknown whether these were Hausa people or speakers of Niger-Congo languages. Kano was originally known as Dala, after the hill, and was referred to as such as late as the end of the 15th century and the beginning of the 16th by Bornoan sources. The Kano Chronicle identifies Barbush, a priest of a Dala Hill spirit, as the city's first settler, while small chiefdoms were previously present in the area. According to the Kano Chronicle, Bagorda, a grandson of the mythical hero Bayajida, became the first king of Kano in 999, reigning until 1063. His grandson Gijimusu, the third king, began building city walls at the foot of Dala Hill. His own son, Zaraki, the fifth king, completed them during his reign. In the 12th century, Ali Yaji as king of Kano renounced his allegiance to the cult of Sumberbora, accepted Islam and proclaimed the sultanate that was to last until its fall in the 19th century. The reign of Yaji ensued an era of expansionism that saw Kano becoming the capital of a pseudo-Hab empire. In 1463, Muhammad Rumfa ascended the throne. During his reign, political pressure from the rising Songhae Empire forced him to take Auwa, the daughter of Askia the Great, as his wife. She was to later become the first female Madaki of Kano. Rumfa reformed the city, expanded the Sahelian Gin Rumfa, and played a role in the further Islamization of the city, as he urged prominent residents to convert. The Kano Chronicle attributes a total of 12 innovations to Rumfa. According to the Kano Chronicle, the 37th Sakin Kano was Muhammad Shef. His successor, Kambari Dan Shefe, engaged in major battles with Sokoto. Fulani conquest and rule. At the beginning of the 19th century, Fulani Islamic leader Usman Dan Fodio led a jihad affecting much of central Sudan, leading to the emergence of the Sokoto Caliphate. In 1805, the last sultan of Kano was defeated by the Jobs clan of the Fulani, and Kano became an emirate of the Caliphate. Kano was the largest and most prosperous province of the empire. This was one of the last major slave societies, with high percentages of enslaved population long after the Atlantic slave trade had been cut off. Heinrich Barth, a German scholar who spent several years in northern Nigeria in the 1850s, estimated the percentage of slaves in Kano to be at least 50%, most of whom lived in slave villages. The city suffered famines from 1807 to 10, in the 1830s, 1847, 1855, 1863, 1873, 1884, and from 1889 until 1890. From 1893 until 1895, two rival claimants for the throne fought a civil war, or Barsasar. With the help of royal slaves, Yusufu was victorious over Tukur and claimed the title of emir. British colonization and rule. In March 1903, after a scanty resistance, the fort of Kano was captured by the British. It quickly replaced Lokoja as the administrative center of northern Nigeria. It was replaced as the center of government by Zungeru and later Kaduna, and only regained administrative significance with the creation of Kano State, following Nigerian independence. From 1913 to 1914, as the peanut business was expanding, Kano suffered a major drought, which caused a famine. Other famines during British rule occurred in 1908, 1920, 1927, 1943, 1951, 1956, and 1958. By 1922, groundnut trader Al-Hassan Dantata had become the richest businessman in Kano, surpassing fellow merchants Umaru Sharubichi Koki and Mikano Igogo. In May 1953, an inter-ethnic riot arose due to southern newspapers misreporting on the nature of a disagreement between northern and southern politicians in the House of Representatives. Thousands of Nigerians of southern origin died as a result of the riot. Post-independence history. Adubayero became emir of Kano in 1963. Kano State was created in 1967 from the then northern Nigeria by the federal military government. The first military police commissioner, Odubako, is credited with building a solid foundation for the progress of a modern society. Most of the social amenities in the state are credited to him. The first civilian governor was Abu Bakar Rimi. In the late 60s, a ground tracking station was established on the hill overlooking Kano to track NASA's Mercury and Gemini spacecraft when they passed over Africa. In December 1980, radical preacher Muhammad Marwa Maitatsin led riots in Kano. He was killed by security forces, but his followers later started uprisings in other northern cities. After the introduction of Sharia law in Kano State in 2000, many Christians left the city. 100 people were killed in riots over the Sharia issue during October 2001. In November 2007, political violence broke out in the city after the People's Democratic Party accused the All Nigeria People's Party of rigging the November 17 local government elections. Hundreds of youths took to the streets, over 300 of whom were arrested. At least 25 people were killed. Buildings set on fire include a Sharia police station, an Islamic center, and a council secretariat. 280 federal soldiers were deployed around the city. In January 2012, a series of bomb attacks in Kano killed up to 162 people. 4 police stations, the State Security Service headquarters, passport offices and immigration centers were attacked. Militants of the Boko Haram claimed responsibility. After the bombings, Kano was placed under curfew. Geography. Kano is 481 meters above sea level. The city lies to the north of the Jos Plateau, in the Sudanian savanna region that stretches across the south of the Sahel. The city lies near where the Kano and Chalawa rivers flowing from the southwest converge to form the Hadehia River, which eventually flows into Lake Chad to the east. Climate. The region features savanna vegetation and a hot, semi-arid climate. Kano sees on average about 690 millimeters of precipitation per year, the bulk of which falls from June through September. Kano is typically very hot throughout the year, though from December through February, the city is noticeably cooler. Nighttime temperatures are cool during the months of December, January and February, with average low temperatures of 11 degrees to 14 degrees Celsius. Demographics. Kano is a Hausa and Fulani-dominated city that is largely Muslim. The majority of Kano Muslims are Sunni, though a minority adhere to the Shia branch. Christians and followers of other non-Muslim religions form a small part of the population and traditionally lived in the Sabangari, or foreign quarter. Transportation. Kano is strategically located and owns its leading position as commercial hub in the sub-Saharan Africa. Kano is linked to many African cities by road. Fleets of trucks and buses and other link it with many cities in Niger, Chad, Cameroon and Republic of Benin. Carbo Air, an airline, has its head office on the grounds of Malam Aminu Kano International Airport in Kano. Kano is also linked to Europe, the Middle East, and North Africa. Kano Airport is served by Egypt Air, Saudi Arabian Airlines, Middle East Air, and Turkish Airlines. It is connected to Lagos and Abuja by several domestic airlines after a hiatus of many years. The railway line from Kano to Lagos was rehabilitated by 2013. The train trip to Lagos takes 30 hours and costs the equivalent of $12, only a quarter of the equivalent bus fare. In 2014, a new double-tracked standard gauge line is under construction from Lagos. Economy. The economic significance of Kano dates back to the pre-colonial Africa when Kano City served as the southernmost point of the famous Trans-Sahara trade routes. Kano was well connected with many cities in North Africa and some cities in southern Europe. The products exported from Kano to North Africa include textile materials, leather and grains. Kano was connected with transatlantic trade in 1911 when a railway line reached Kano. Kano is a major center for the production and export of agricultural products like hides and skins, peanuts, and cotton. Kano houses the Bayero University and a railway station with trains to Lagos routed through Kaduna, while Malam Aminu Kano International Airport lies nearby. Because Kano is north of the rail junction at Kaduna, it has equal access to the seaports at Lagos and Port Harcourt. The city maintains its economic and business even in the 21st century, with it producing the richest black man, Aliko Dangote, whose great-great-father Alhassan Dantata was the richest during Nigeria's colonial period. Formerly walled, most of the gates to the Old City survive. The Old City houses the vast Kerma market, known for its crafts, while old dye pits, still in use, lie nearby. In the Old City are the Emir's Palace, the Great Mosque, and the Gidan Makama Museum. Kano has 6 districts: the Old City, Bompai, Fag, Sabangari, Syrian Quarter, and Nasarawa. As of November 2007, there were plans to establish an information technology park in the city. The city is supplied with water by the nearby Chalawa Gorge Dam, which is being considered as a source of hydropower. The airline Carbo Air has its head office in the city. Durbar Festival. The Emir of Kano hosts a Durbar to mark and celebrate the 2 annual Muslim festivals Eid al-Fitr and Eid al-Adha. The Durbar culminates in a procession of highly elaborately dressed horsemen who pass through the city to the Emir's palace. Once assembled near the palace, groups of horsemen, each group representing a nearby village, take it in turns to charge toward the Emir, pulling up just feet in front of the seated dignitaries to offer their respect and allegiance.